Before the war, before the Separatists, Count Dooku was a Jedi, a respected master, a war hero, and someone who genuinely believed in the Jedi way. But the older he got, the more he started to see the cracks. The Jedi weren't leading, they were following orders, and those orders came from politicians, not the Force. Dooku questioned everything. He challenged the Council. He pushed back when their actions didn't match their ideals. To the Jedi, that was dangerous thinking. But to Dooku, it was honesty. He believed the Order had lost its way, and when it became clear no one was going to change it, he left. He wasn't alone in how he saw the galaxy. His student, Qui-Gon Jinn, shared that same independent spirit. They believed the Jedi should listen to the Force, not just follow orders. But even Qui-Gon, for all his doubt, stayed. Dooku didn't. And when Qui-Gon was killed, something in him broke. Dooku didn't leave because he hated the Jedi. He left because he loved what they were supposed to be, and couldn't watch what they'd become. That's where his story turns. Not with rage, but with disappointment. When Dooku left the Jedi Order, he didn't disappear. He re-emerged with a mission to break the Republic, to build something better. He saw the corruption, the manipulation, the failure, and he knew it wasn't going to change from within. So he formed the Separatist movement, not as a warlord, but as a believer. But while he fought against the system, he was already being used by a greater one. Darth Sidious promised a path forward, power, freedom, a galaxy reborn. Dooku became Darth Tyrannus. He funded both sides of the war, trained assassins, even erased the existence of Kamino from the Jedi archives. And yet, he still believed he was doing the right thing. He helped create the Clone Wars. And in the beginning, he thought he could control it, that he could steer the chaos. But the truth is, he was just another piece on the board. The war wasn't about ideals anymore. It was about power, and he was no longer the one holding it. Dooku believed he was saving the galaxy, but in trying to free it, he helped enslave it. The vision he once had, of order, of balance, was fading, and he was too deep in it to turn back. Dooku spent years fighting the Republic. He believed he was shaping the future, that he was part of something bigger. But when the end came, he realized he wasn't a master of the game. He was just a piece. Captured above Coruscant, Dooku stood before Anakin Skywalker, his replacement. And in that moment, he finally understood. Palpatine had never planned to share power. There was no new order, just a cycle. One Sith replaced by another. One pawn traded in for the next. Dooku died without a word. Not because he had nothing to say, but because it was too late. Everything he'd built, everything he thought he controlled, it was never his. The war, the Separatists, even his legacy, it all belonged to Sidious. Dooku wasn't driven by greed or madness. He saw a system built on lies and tried to change it. But somewhere along the way, he lost himself. He became what he hated, used, discarded, forgotten. His fall wasn't just from the Jedi Order. It was from everything he once stood for.